Can a few politicians decide what Ayyappa's rules should be? Are they not imposing? Those who claim to be leftist and atheist, are they not imposing their own views? Dr. Ranganathan, if the state government opposes the right to practice and propagate religion, the same Article 14, 15, 25, 26, which are repeatedly quoted to try and ensure that nobody questions what the Muslims are doing, what is happening in Sunni mosques, and then they gave this argument there. Here, all those arguments are turned around and they fail. Is this not open, brazen disrespect of Sanatan Astha? I'm sure you must have held a different view which has changed over time, Dr. Ranganathan.
No, it hasn't changed, Anand. Good evening, and good evening to my fellow panelists, because I put all my views through the scientific ringer. And on the matter of Sabrimala judgment, I've always believed the simple question to be asked was it discrimination or perceived discrimination? There are many Hindu temples where the men are barred entry, like Brahmaji temple, Kumari Amman temple, Atukul Bhagwati temple, and there are many Ayyappa temples, 450 of them, where women are allowed entry. It is only in this particular Lord Ayyappa temple that, because of the vow of the deity to remain a brahmachari, menstruating women in a particular age bracket were not allowed entry. Remember that the Hindu deity is considered a living entity. That is why it has judicial and property rights. That is why Hindu temples pay income tax, for crying out loud. And as for menstruating women, it is forbidden for a menstruating woman to touch the Quran, recite a complete verse, enter a mosque, do salat, perform tawaf, have fast, have sex, 56, 79, 2 to 22 and Hadith Sharif. So are you going to redact these verses? Look, Anand, there is a fundamental contradiction between Articles 21 and 25 of our Constitution. If you follow one, you cannot follow the other. There are thousands of religious dictats that directly contradict Article 21, your right to life, dignity and liberty. If you're a true Catholic woman, you cannot be ordained as a priest. If you're a true Muslim woman, you cannot sing, dance, play sports, drink, fornicate, be a homosexual, wear what you want, or be an apostate. A Supreme Court that correctly removes discrimination from Hindu religion, but cowers behind a lamppost like a wet cat when it comes to other religions, is not a Supreme Court. It is a Sharia court. The Shah Bano judgment was overturned even though there was blatant discrimination. But the Supreme Court acted against the centuries-old tradition of Sabrimala even though there was perceived discrimination. If this is not seeding resentment among the Hindus and stoking religious wars, what is? Anand, 30 seconds. Recall the iconic statement of the dissenting judge Inju Malhotra in the original Sabrimala judgment.
Yep.
Quote, notions of rationality cannot be invoked in matters of religion, unquote. This is so true. Where do you draw the line? Are you going to tell billions that Lord Brahma couldn't have had 4 heads, or that Prophet Muhammad couldn't have flown to heaven on a mule, or that Jesus couldn't have walked on water, or have resulted from immaculate conception? Yes, the courts do have a role to play in intervening and preventing oppressive and hurtful religious practices. But then again, what is hurtful to you, to me, may not be hurtful to the believer. For example, 10 seconds,
right.
I believe that prescribing a dress code like a burqa or a hijab is oppressive. But can the Supreme Court ban it? If it does, then is it not violating the direct commandments of the Holy Quran 24, 31, 33, 59, 726? Would that be acceptable to all those liberals and feminists who cheered the Sabrimala verdict? The problem is not the standard, Anand. The problem is the double standard.